anyway, so she and I are going to Shumaya. Now, the campesino who came for us, obviously, rode one of the two animals he had.
Yeah.
But he walked back all the way.
Wow.
And that was at least a 5-hour, minimum 5-hour journey. And so
5 hours there and back?
5 hours there.
Oh.
Okay. So therefore, this is his return trip.
Yeah.
And he's walking back.
Right.
And the two of us had whatever we had.
The two
horses
nags.
Or mules or whatever we had. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm from, as you know, New York City.
Right. Hell's Kitchen.
If you can, yes, exactly. And the only experience I had with horses would be at Central Park at the carousel.
Right.
And they lasted 5 minutes to go up and down.
Right.
Very beautiful music in the background. And you reached out for the gold ring, and if you got that ring, mind you.
Hey, Bo. What a sweetie.
How are you, Bo? Nice to see you again. You've been a stranger. You've been a stranger. So anyway, you reached out for the gold ring, and if you got it, you got a free ride. You see, that was my experience. The ride was 5, maybe 7 minutes. Now we're talking about 5 hours from the parish,
Right.
and therefore, after hour 1 or possibly 2, I'm telling you, my derriere was so stiff. Now I'm sure that gentleman, the campesino, must have had, they're so polite and they're so modest. I'm sure when he saw me mounting, he had a good laugh with himself. And when the whole community, when you arrive at these places, you know how they're so hospitable.
Right.
And they greet you with fruit.
So you'd been on the horse for 5 hours?
Yes.
And it was bareback or a saddle?
In a saddle, yeah.
And the other horse was, who was on the other horse?
Carmela.
Carmela.
Okay. Now she's the pro.
She's Peruvian, right?
She's native. Right?
Is she from Sandor or is she from...
Yes, she is. Right from that pueblo.
She's still alive?
I believe yes.
Yeah.
Quite, fragile right now. But anyway, mind you, we got there. Now, if it was laughable seeing me mount, it had to be a show beyond all shows of imagining, wild imaginings. To see
Here's
me
Blazer.
dismount. Hi, Blazer.
Hey, Blaze.
Hi, Blazer. To see me dismounting, I was as stiff. And I just hoped there was ground below because I kind of fell onto it. I didn't get down gracefully. So anyway, all of the people, step out of their little homes, and it's the novelty of the day. They had no television at that time. I'm sure they still don't where we were there.
Yeah.
So anyway, we arrive and we meet Fortunato and members of the team. Now,
This is the pastoral team or what?
The pastoral team, right. Fortunato was the coordinator, and I think Manuel was the man who came for us. He was on the team as well. So that meant you had 4 members of the team that you were going to meet with first. So you leave the road, step into the house, and you're back on the road. That was their floor. And of course, it's my first time there. And so we go in, and of course, the woman of the house, where is she? But down there on the ground, to the right, readying the meal. Okay? So Carmela and I sit down, and there's a bench, there's a little table between us. You had the 3 gentlemen, because our man was taking care of the animals at the back of the house. Then he would come in. So anyway, we're sitting there, and the lady comes out, the woman comes out with a saucer, and it has 2 eggs. Now at that time I was, as I say, fresh from the States, very squeamish, and about cleanliness, and at least I knew what that was. They were eggs.
Right.
An egg is an egg is an egg, no matter where you find them. Now I was never quite sure what was in soup. That was always a bit of a mystery, and that kind of thing. But anyway, and she brings out also another plate which had the, that campesino cheese,
Oh yeah.
and very salty, but very good. So Carmela says to me, she moved the 2 eggs, she moved that plate closer to me, and she said, Madre, oh, in Peru, they used to call us Madre, not Hermana. So she said, now Madre, you like eggs. How she knew it, I don't know. You know, she's been in and out of the convent, but of our convent there in Sondor, I don't know. But anyway, it impressed me that she knew that I liked eggs. And I was ravenous with hunger. I was ravenous, not just hungry. And so she said, I'll begin with this, what you call cheese. So that's what she did. That's the way we began. Now, I began with that egg, and I was so ravenous, so hungry. And I wanted desperately to drink something. They normally have, you know, coffee brewing or whatever. But I needed a drink. And so I began, you know, not just shelling it. I was wolving into that first egg. And I was so pleased. I felt I hit bingo. And then I knew there was a second one on the plate for me. I said, oh my, this is marvelous. So at that point, now, you must remember Carmela, I'm like a pre-postulant, not even a postulant, and she's a pro. And she and Fortunato and the members of the team are chatting back and forth, giving an update and so on, and not a break in the conversation. So I'm just trying to listen and catch the theme and so on, try to stay with it, but I was very, very distracted by that second egg, and I knew it was going to be mine. And so, by the time Manuel finishes taking care of the animal, the 2 animals, he comes in and takes his place. So that meant there are now 4 team members on the other side, and the 2 of us, Carmela and myself. So I reached for that plate, and I was ready for it. And I say to this day, only by the grace of God, at that very last minute, it dawned on me, it might be nice if you at least offered it. To him, he walked that distance. He came. And then he walked back, and now he's sitting at the table. How does he, if I'm ravenous, how does he feel? So anyway, at the last minute, by the grace of God, I take the plate, and in my halting Spanish, I offer it to Manuel, and I said, Manuel, would you like this egg? You need it more than I. Now, he very graciously took that plate with the egg on it, took the egg off, and began shelling it, okay? Put the shells back in the plate, and when he was finished, what do you think he did?
What did he do?
Well, I want to tell you what he did. I actually lost the power of speech because he began to divide that 1 egg in 4 parts, and he reached with the palm of his hand down to Fortunato, who was first. He was the coordinator. And then the vice what you call vice coordinator. And then I forget who was the asistente social, third, and the last piece for himself. I looked at that, and everything in me shut down. I wanted desperately for that floor to open up so I could jump in. And as fast as I could, I tell you, everything in me stopped. Don't ask me what the conversation, I lost the conversation, everything. It was like getting hit with a bolt. It never crossed my mind to offer that first egg that I already wolved down to anybody at that table. Okay, number 1. Never mind see this man, sturdy man, hungry as I was, divide his in 4. And every one of them simply, graciously accepted that piece of egg. I said, gracias, didn't miss a beat in the conversation. Not a beat. I was speechless. And I always remember saying to myself, honey, if you think you are here to teach these people anything, you are so mistaken. You're here to learn. You are here. And all I could think of, I'll never forget it, to this day, all I could think of was Eucharist. That Jesus sat there and took what was offered, broke it, and shared. That man had the message. What was I down for, to do something with the Bible? I looked, there was the Bible back at you. Oh, it was mind-blowing, soul-blowing. What an unforgettable experience. And to think that I sat there, wolfed down that first one, didn't cross my mind to offer it to anybody at that table. I felt so embarrassed, inadequate, chastened, and I never forgot it.
What a great story. Thank you.